Hi friends, it's me, Susan May. I just tried going live and it was acting funky. I actually have an iPhone now. For many of my friends, you know that I've had this little Nokia phone. I like to joke and call it my little ghetto phone. But I'm back in the modern world, and so I'm trying to come live to you from my iPhone. Let me just try flipping my camera here because it didn't seem like it was working. Okay, there's Yoshi. Okay. So anyways, I was having a little ramble here about some ideas I have for maybe writing a book. And I was wondering if any of you ever have thought about writing a book. I've had the idea for a long time. Maybe not surprising because I've written a blog for over a decade on and off. But funny thing about me is when I was a kid and in school, I really didn't like writing or consider myself a writer. I did well in English class. But I've never actually followed through. I've started books, I've done outlines, I've had notes in notebooks and on Google Docs. So I'm curious if you've ever had this experience. And what I find interesting is that my idea for what I want to write about changes like every year. And so if I had written the book I wrote last year, it would be way different than what I wrote this year. And so anyways, I just started jotting some ideas down in my notebook, and I made a mind map because lots of people really recommend, lots of cool people that seem successful and maybe even write themselves have recommended that. So I wanted to share with you just some of my things just for funsies, see if any of it resonates with you. I don't know if this will lead to a book. It may or may not, but it definitely is just helping me have fun and feel organized for business in my life. And so without further ado, 2023 book and business brainstorm. So it's kind of all over the place because that's what mind maps are like, right? So over here, rise up MF Mama Bear. Now MF is not like the bad words, it stands for medical freedom. In 2020, there was a voice early before all the madness happened. It was February or March that said, level up. Why did I get that voice in my head? My dad was diagnosed with cancer. Carter was officially diagnosed with autism. So I had this voice in my head. It was like, level up, Susan, you got this. Then, bam, 2020 happened. So I'm going to follow this over to here. 2020, and you know what? It was a big end, but it was also a beginning. And so I talk a lot about why my family was especially prepared for those times. But we did suffer a lot of losses, just like many people did. For my family, it was mostly, and for me, it was mostly friends and relationships. We also lost our future plans and dreams. Like, things just changed so much. And I had to reassess my beliefs, how I think the world works. Maybe you had that experience too, that how you thought the world works wasn't really how it works. Other things that people lost were their health, were jobs and security, or maybe loved ones even died, you know, in all the madness with illness and other things that have gone on. This was a threat for us for a while. We were worried about Mike's job. I actually did lose my teaching job with VIP Kid eventually. But if we go this way, all of this did lead to good things. But first it created some habits in myself especially that no longer served me. Constant information seeking and wanting to be informed were the big ones that I focus on a lot in Rise Up with Susan May. But it did lead to good too in my life and business. And as you know, that comes out in the motto of being bold, be brave, be you. But pre-2020, I was not 100% myself, which leads me to the question, are we ever 100% ourselves? Maybe not. But I think the more that we can get towards that, and so I feel like I'm more myself now than I ever have been, which is a huge gift and a blessing. So what held me back before 2020? Why wasn't I able to be myself? I remember someone asking that very question in the spring 2020. I was watching a video and someone said, what's holding you back from like speaking up and saying the truth? And you could see it in my blog before 2020. You can see that I had a 2.5-year period where I did not write. And it was because of this topic right here. It was a start and a stop that I had in that topic. And so what held me back? The answer is fear of losing people and what they would think, which that did happen to me. Okay, so sometimes our fears will happen, but guess what? it leads to really great things. So by 2021, we, and I say we because I'm talking about my husband and myself, we're experts. We were highly informed and knowledgeable about what was happening. We moved in January to Florida. My friend committed suicide. I longed for change, and I don't even know that I knew that I was longing for change, but I knew something had to change. And in 2021, I started Rise Up with Susan May and the Rise Up community, and a change began. Now, I say it began because it's still happening for my life. In my life, life and change are almost always slower than they want them to be. So now what do I have? And these are my whats. These are what I want in my life, and I mostly have them. I'm more calm and more focused, and I'm sending an email out about that tomorrow. My word for 2023 is focus. Usually we pick words and pick things that we're not 100% there yet, right? Like, I'm not perfect about being focused by any stretch of the imagination. I'm gaining clarity. I have strong purpose in my life, and I want to increase security and freedom in my family's life, which means I have a big goal for Rise Up with Susan May. I want to start making more money because that's really important for my family. And my whys, because you need to be really clear about whatever your whats are, you need to know what your whys are. My whys are my MIPs, my most important people. Mike, Marisol, Jerry, and Carter are my big whys. But also these MF mama bears, medical freedom mama bears. If we have strong mama bears, it's going to increase security and freedom in the world and make the world a better place for my most important people. So these are my big whys. So we get to how. How do we do these things? Something I've been stressing since the beginning, unplugging peacefully. We need to deprogram and reprogram. Another way that I've worded that in the past is we need to detox and rewire our brains, our minds. We need to start taking care of our minds. And then we need to start taking actions, baby step actions. These don't have to be huge things. And it's habit formation and habit stacking, which isn't like really exciting things, but they are life-changing. And accountability and community. All of these hows are things that I am focused on helping people with. And because you can know how to do things in your head, but if your heart doesn't know those things, or if you're not exactly sure how to do them, most of us know what we need to do to be healthier, right? One of my new favorite people to follow is Dean Graziosi, and he's like, everyone knows what they need to do to be healthier, what food they need to eat, what habits they need to do and exercise, but the question is, are you doing it, right? And if you're not doing it, why aren't you doing it? Well, a lot of that has to do with your mind and your beliefs, and so that's why I'm so big on those things. Like, I know you can change your mind, and I want that for you because I have it in my life. And it's not a straight line. Like, I was kind of in a funk for the beginning of 2023, and there were various reasons for that, but it's like you get habits in your life that help you get through those funks and get you back to, look at me, I'm like, woo, I'm like on fire again. So this is where my brain's at. Will a book come from it? Who knows? Maybe if you give me some encouragement and some love, I will get moving on that. But it's definitely the direction that I see Rise Up with Susan May going and my life going. And I'm just so excited to continue working with people directly, because that is what really brings peace to my soul and excitement at the same time, is talking directly with you. And I see Tony Baloney's on. Thank you, Tony. I love connecting with you, Tony, and so many other medical freedom advocates, medical freedom mama bears. And when I say mama bears, I'm including papa bears, grandma bears, grandpappy bears. Like, it's really everyone. It's just mostly I know it's women who really connect with my message, and so I'm getting real clear on that. I think that's all for now. I would love to hear from you. Please hop on my email list if you're not already. I am looking to connect with you one-on-one. I'm opening up free half-an-hour slots again. So if you are an MF mama bear, a medical freedom mama bear who feels stuck for any reason, if you feel lonely, anxious, overwhelmed, or maybe you feel apathetic. Like, sometimes we have all these shoulds. I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and we just don't want to do them. We feel unmotivated. There's a reason you feel unmotivated, and you need to unearth that reason so that you can get to the root cause of it, and you can get your energy moving so that life becomes a lot easier, because it is possible. Life can really flow for you, and I want that for you. So I'll drop a link to my Calendly schedule. I'd love to schedule a half-hour call with you. Thank you, Tony, for saying that. I will share this with friends. And that's all for now. I will be back soon. I love you all. Remember, be bold, be brave, be you, because who else is there to be? I look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye.